Well, good morning, everybody. This is Bill Cook with another episode of the SEO Success Story. This is episode number 18, and the reason for this video today or this update is because we have crossed another threshold and we've doubled traffic to 50 visitors on the first site. I do have a couple of screenshots here, and I added another one. This is the second site. It's finally ranking for a keyword, so I thought it would be worth showing this. Before, this was just a bunch of zeros, and that wasn't very interesting, so I didn't have that included, but I will be including the second site now. And just so you know, I am considering a third one, so depends on how quickly the next update comes out. I might have a third one in the works by then. And this one right here, this is the first site. This is the site that I've only been talking about really up to now. And it reached 50 visitors. This is an estimate from Google, and I do have analytics on there, and I am certainly seeing more than 50 visitors per month on there already. We're getting close to probably 250, 300, something like that. Getting some pretty consistent traffic, and interestingly enough, Google's not the only game in town, and it is getting some traffic from the other big search engines, mainly Bing, which is almost the you know go, Google and Bing are almost dominate the market. Yahoo actually uses one of the other one's results. I think it's Bing's. Um, and DuckDuckGo, interestingly enough. But part of the reason for that is that this niche might be appealing to people that have a tendency to use Microsoft Internet Explorer as their default browser, and perhaps some people that are a little bit concerned about keeping their keeping people from knowing what they're doing. So DuckDuckGo is not too surprising for me to see some searches in this niche. But either way, this site is doing pretty well. We did an update last week where we had 1,000 keywords. Now we're up to, it says 1,200 here. It's actually 1,180. I've realized that this particular tool rounds to the nearest 100, much like we learned to do in school. So when it got over 1150, it started showing 1.2, and we'll show 1.2 until we cross 1250. The organic traffic is the reason for the video this morning, or the update, and my intention going forward is to kind of show this every time this doubles. So when we'll do 50, 100, 200, and then 500,000, 2,000, and then perhaps 5,000, 10,000, and 20,000. I don't believe that this particular niche, this is a smaller kind of niche, so I don't think that it's going to get over 20,000. I do think that this one here will have the potential to get well over 20,000. I don't know exactly how high, but those are my intentions for this. And the same thing on the keywords and the traffic value, probably. Same types of thresholds, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. Same thing with the traffic value on all the sites. So I'm trying to get a way when I trigger a threshold and do an update. Now, this, if you remember, this is the kind of graph that I found in my tool that kind of keeps me from doing the spreadsheet. You can, and right now this is just over the last 30 days. I should probably have maybe next month or next update. I'll do this with the 1 year, because it's been quite a great rise since early January. Same thing here for the keywords. Organic traffic's at 50, organic keywords at 1180, and the traffic value's at 15. Now, one thing that you might notice here kind of is this curve is kind of flattening out. Up here at the top is not rising as quickly as it was, and part of the reason for that is I've not been adding content to this site and yeah, I guess it's been a month now. So I guess this site here has been going for about a month. It's got a fair amount of content, probably 30 to 40,000 or 30 to 40,000 words of content on it. This one I'm kind of I don't want to say done with, but I've stopped doing adding content. I want to make sure that it's going to respond well, and things are going pretty well. One thing that I am kind of waiting for is I want to see more of the darker orange here. Right now you see there's lots of light orange here, and this is really the things that are ranking between positions 11 and 100. So these don't get a lot of traffic. It's the ones down here that are ranking really high that are the ones that are driving the traffic. So I want to get more down here before I start adding more content to this site. And part of the reason for that is that I'm trying to get the highest return on the investments that I'm making into the sites. And these are the same types of things that I would, recommend for any clients or any other projects that I'm working on is try to get a good stable base. And once we get a good stable base, then we'll start expanding more and more to capture different markets. And I, certainly recommend the same thing for clients. Not much different down here. The only thing is, as we get more and more keywords here, this scale has to go up a little bit. So now it's the oranges are, I've got 30 keywords that are ranking in those positions. So there's not a lot of upward movement here. My hope is that over time that there's going to be a big sea of white down here and lots of blue and orange scraping along the top with lots of really high positions, which will in turn be lots of traffic and lots of traffic value, which in turn drives a lot more sales on my site. So anyway, that's the update for today. And I will be, making these updates as we cross the thresholds. And I know that that right now there's I don't want to say we're in a lockdown, but we've been asked to kind of do some social distancings and curtail some of our normal activities so that we can keep from overwhelming the medical system. But just so you know, things here at Tangible Vagaries are certainly well on track. Most of the things we do are online anyway, so we've got systems in place to keep on going. Pretty much no matter what happens or no matter who gets sick, everything's going to be just fine here. And we're certainly looking forward to getting out on the other side of this and having some great results for ourselves and our clients when things return to normal. So we're still busy. The doors are still open, and we continue to stay that way. So if you know anybody that could benefit from this, please share this with them. If you got any questions or comments, please enter them in below, and go ahead and like or subscribe or do whatever you do, and we'll talk to you next time.